This is a look at the Ravens' final play down on the goal line in an attempt to take a 27-20 lead. I'm past the point of complaining about the fact that we did go for it. I was so angered by it, like a lot of people, for tactical reasons, but also for professional reasons. Like, I don't feel like we're doing a good job of protecting our guys and putting them in position to succeed. Having said that, like, this is an entirely predictable formation by the Ravens. It's bunch right A, which is almost 100% run. I didn't have time this morning to go into the database and look and see, so I will do that later today when I get an opportunity. My anticipation is that bunch right A in the database has probably got 50 iterations, since 2021 and then this year. If you don't know, this is the same formation that we threw two different touchdown passes to Devin Duvernay against the New York Jets. One of them was on a post like that, and then the other one was on the outside wheel against man by the DB Hall, whose first name I forget. So bunch right A, 100% pass or very close to it. I'm quite sure that the Bills knew that once we lined up in it. So the problem, and many of you in the comment section have identified it correctly, is we're not giving them a run pass threat. We're not giving, and that was before Mike Davis motions out here. And like I saw, I think it's Orlowski or however you say his last name, pointing to his TV with a pin. Like I'm not going to listen to somebody break it down, but I watched it. I just didn't listen to it on Twitter. I forget who it was that linked it up. And it looked like he was talking about uncovered rule, and I'm quite sure he said something like that. Like uncovered in a spread system is uncovered, meaning you've got two and they don't have a second guy. There's nobody out here. Now, the linebacker's kind of apexing out. For those of you that don't know what apex is, it's like, split the difference between, or a line between the inside foot of the number two, outside foot of the tackle, and then you would normally get a nice triangle where the linebacker's feet would be at that apex of the triangle. That's what we would call apex. It just gives you some inside leverage. In this short situation, I mean, yeah, there's definitely an opportunity to throw the ball to Mike Davis. Like now, it doesn't appear as if we're interested in doing that at all. I don't know what we accomplish here by having Mike Davis motion out. For real, at this point, I mean, you can certainly second guess our pass pro now with Lamar having pressure on him from the left side. Faalele's, clearly beat. Good tactical decision by the Bills at some point to put a little bit bigger body out there so that edge rush against Faalele had a little bit more strength, a little bit more pop to it. Although Von Miller did give him problems too. I mean, look, let's just talk about the play. Like, yes, the ball has to be thrown now. This fading back here is not going to work. There's nothing about this that's going to work. Personally, I don't feel like we should have put our players in this position. I'm not a huge fan of this play. I mean, anyone likely is going to slip out into the flats. Duve is going to go on one of these. And it's clear to me that we're looking for Mark Andrews. The Bills were not surprised. I mean, they've got someone outside leverage on him. The read is the corner. That would be the read here. But you've also got this safety involved. They're playing 4 over 3. Good for the Bills. That's good awareness. Yes, at some point, Duvernay is like wide open back here. It's the NFL, the highest level of quarterbacking in the world. So, yes, Lamar needs to throw this football to that back right corner of the end zone to Devin Duvernay at some point. Way earlier than he does throwing this from back at the 19. That's a failed prospect. It's a great play by Jordan Poyer. Don't get me wrong. I think the Bills' defense is very prepared for specific situations. Look at this linebacker. He sees likely run out into the flats. Duve coming in here. He's just pattern reading. That's all. He's just matching the route, staying on the inside, so he recognizes, okay, this is not a threat for me. This guy appears to be going out. Let me sit and wait for this in-breaking route. And that is the route I think Lamar is looking for. It never really happens. The ball's got to be thrown now. Now, pull this back just a little bit. I'd like to get Lamar's feet on the 11. It's very easy for me or anybody to say, Lamar, we got to throw this football right now. But, like, if I could draw a straight line for you, let's say we're going to throw it on that trajectory. It probably needs to be, further down here, right? Further down here off screen to the bottom right. There's a whole lot of bodies, and we have the benefit of this all 22 angle. Like, we can see this from up top. That's not the real angle. The real angle is from Lamar's eyes, to somewhere around in here, the back right corner of the end zone. There's a whole hell of a lot of bodies between Lamar's eyes and where he'd be expected to throw the football. I don't like the play. I think it really gives us one option for real. I don't think Isaiah Likely's an option out in the flats. I just don't. Mark Andrews, yes, it's an option to throw the football to Andrews, but it's going to be. Why would it not be covered? Why would the Bills not cover it? Like it's a predictable formation, run pass wise in bunch right A. It becomes even more predictable when we go to empty. I'm not a fan of the call at all, at all. Like we didn't play this well. Like let's just say it. Like I'm a huge fan of Lamar, and I know you are too, but we just didn't play this well. Period. But this call does not put us in a position to succeed unless we just throw on faith this read right out here. And I can't really draw. I don't know how to draw a line for you guys that illustrates the trajectory of the throw. But we definitely would like to see that ball thrown there. But that's all we've got, to me. Yeah, you got uncovered to Mike Davis. Take a lot of guts to throw it out there to your running back who came in the game cold. I don't believe he was on the field on the play before. I could be wrong. So yes, that's an uncovered rule. It appeared as if that's what Orlovsky was pointing out with his pen. I don't listen to people who point at the TV. I understand why they're doing it because they're getting content out quick on Twitter and an opportunity to get their followers to look and break down the game, right? So great stuff, by Orlovsky. I just didn't watch it. I didn't listen to it. Excuse me. So here's the concept again. That's Poyer who gets the pick. They've got 4 over 3. There's a DB off screen to our left here, and obviously off screen to our left is Duvernay. If we had a 6'5" receiver, someone to throw this fade up to, maybe Lamar is a little quicker to throw it. But the breakdowns are everywhere, for us. And that's to my point. Again, I guess I lied in the beginning. I said I wasn't going to talk about the decision to make the call. We're not playing well on offense in the second half. These situations right here, and by the way, Morgan Moses not beat here. That's Lamar stepping back because he's getting pressure from this side. So Morgan Moses not beat. It's people on Twitter talking about, both of our tackles got beat. That's not beat on this play. Daniel Faalele is beat. Morgan Moses is not. Lamar has an opportunity to throw this football right now. Yes, there's pressure, and so he's trying to create time to throw it. As we have said many times, and 2 people in the comments section, I can't remember their names, forgive me, really astute observations pointed out, said, we have always said the Ravens are a right-handed football team. So as Lamar gets pressure, all right, we want him to throw the ball now, right? But as he gets pressure, all the routes are all located on the right-hand side of the screen, right-hand side of the field. It's not like mesh, where you've got, let's say we ran mesh, where you got those 2 routes underneath. You'd have Andrews on the drag, and just so you know, the touchdown the second touchdown of Devin Duvernay against the Jets was on something like this. Now, of course, we're running out of end zone here because we're further back, so maybe mesh isn't a great option, but you can run mesh with different routes by this, this outside receiver, which was that second touchdown by Duvernay on the kind of no-look touchdown pass by Lamar. My point overall in talking about that is there's no spatial options for Lamar in this tight space, 4th and 2, which what does that go back to? It's just a bad call. It's just a bad decision and a bad call down there. I don't know about you, but I was like horrified that we're snapping the ball in bunch right A. Well, it became empty in this tight space. Like we're into the boundary. This is the hash. Okay? This is the hash. We're not. There's no space down here. I can't remember what it is from the hash to the sideline. 17 yards. Well, I think it's 17 yards in high school. A little further because the NFL hashes are packed in there tighter. This is a one read play, one option play. Let me put it that way. And I don't think it's a good one, particularly with the pressure off the left side. To second guess it, it certainly seems like, hey, why don't we keep the running back in and help? Because he's not part of the read. We're not going to throw it to him anyway, apparently. So it sure would be nice to get Lamar a little bit more time to see Devin Duvernay wide open in the back right corner of the end zone. If you're one of the people who joins and you're not a Ravens fan, you're like, hey, dude, why don't you just say it? Lamar can't read. Lamar can't do this. That's not true. It takes more than one to execute a play. And in my opinion, this pressure here off the edge, is inhibited for Lamar to just stand there and throw because he's worried, let me get the throw off. Let me get the throw off and give us a chance. He needs to throw the ball quicker. We need to do a better job calling the plays and or making a good tactical decision in terms of what's the chances to succeed. And that's my overall point that I talked about, and I ranted twice already this week, the chances of us succeeding with any play down here was low. I would say this play concept is probably a 10 to 15% chance of succeeding, and then let's up that to 30, 33%, something like that, just because we have Lamar Jackson who does special things. We did not give them the run-pass option. We did not put the defenders in enough conflict with the route combinations. In my opinion, you've got one route to throw the ball to, and that's it. And it's not Isaiah Likely. It's not Mark Andrews. Clearly, it's Devin Duvernay who's standing back there wide open. And I believe in Devin Duvernay. Like, I'm not one of those that's going to sit here and be like, oh, we don't have good wide receivers, Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman. We got two good young wide receivers. Like, I'm not going to front on that. Those guys can play. I wish Duvernay had got an opportunity to catch the ball. He did not. My blame does not lie on Lamar Jackson. Personally, my blame doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all what I have to say, for real, about the blame. I'm just trying to show you the elements of it that I think are interesting and that caused the breakdown. I don't blame Lamar for making a bad decision, which is not throwing the ball to Devin Duvernay earlier, because I don't think he should have been put in that position in the first place. Let me know what you guys think of the breakdown, what you think of the play, now that I have shown you the all 22 and the end zone. I'm sure other people have too. I haven't seen any other breakdowns. I was doing a Jimmy Smith career retrospective late last night, and also prepping some film on OA and JPP video that'll come out, earlier this evening. So I didn't really have an opportunity to look at what other people said, but I'm sure at this point in time, many people have broken it down besides just Dan Orlovsky with his pin on the TV screen. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section.